You know, when it's hot outside, I think people lose their mind, especially down south here. I'm noticing the behavior of people when it's hot. They seem to be short-tempered. Anyway, every time I do a video, I'm going to try to drop a piece of gold or precious stone truth out there. Or at least something maybe nobody's ever talked about. I was watching somebody do some videos. She was talking the truth. I mean, she was really talking about how to get out of the box and be free and not under, I don't know if she used the word legalism, but under rule-based living. She seemed to understand. She might not have used the same terminology, but she seemed to get it. But then she did this video about tarot cards and crystals and stuff like that. Not that she said, I'm not using these things to predict the future or nothing. So I think what happens is, because she started seeing past the game, you know, I think what happens is that people, they get burnt, they get destroyed with legalism, and then God reveals something deep to them, and then the only other thing out there spiritual, like esoteric wise, is the New Age people. But the Christians, if they would really just ask God, He would reveal that nothing points to the devil. It all points to Jesus, but the devil's trying to hijack it to make it point to Him. Like right there in front of me is spiritual truth. Aim, text, tear weights, tear, king of tire, king of tears, king of the flesh. It's a box. Those that are in a box mind are tares. They're flesh minded. They're AI flesh mind creatures. 666 box flesh minded creatures. That's why it's called a tear weight. TARE is no different than wheat and tear. The wheat and the tear. And so the flesh creatures will tear you up with their words. The wheat and the tares, right? You understand what I'm saying? So spiritually, everything points to a deep spiritual truth about Jesus. But what happens is people want to see deeper. So the esoteric that are out there are of the dark side, and all the devil's doing. And actually, nothing points to the devil, because 666 points to man, the flesh side of man. The devil, when Adam and Eve fell, they fell into sin. So there had to be a king of sin, king of terror, king of the flesh, king of Tyre, Tyre. That's in the Old Testament. There has to be a king over the flesh, just like there's a king over the spirit. And so the devil's the AI flesh creature. All he does is go around and around and around. He's like a computer program, and he has nothing new. He's always accusing the brethren. He's always trying to get you to doubt your salvation. He's trying to pull you into the world, the flesh, and pride of life. Those are the only three tools he has: the world, the flesh, and the pride of life. And so the devil's an AI creature. The king of Tyre, the king of Terre, the king of the 666 box, king of the flesh. So the devil is a master deceiver. And so when these people who get tired of legalism and they try to go into something spiritual, there's so much information out there that they go off in the deep end. But they're saved, and God will pull them back in. God will reel them back in like catching a fish, you know. So I thought about it overnight before I wanted to talk about it, and you know, hopefully she'll escape it soon, because you can't a tarot card is nothing. Everything is the now. If you really want to know what the tarot, what they're trying to do, your name is your calling. Jesus means Jehovah saves. Noah is like Neo. Methuselah, all the names in the Old Testament. Paul, God changed it from Saul to Paul. The Apostle Paul, a post of God, a post El Shaddai. El goes back to God. Apostle, a post of God. Apostle Paul. So Paul had his name changed. Peter had his name changed. Why would Jesus change disciples' names? Because your names are your calling. Why would the Indians, when somebody did something great, an Indian would give them a new name, change their name? Your name is your calling in life. It's a script. It's already been. What has been shall be. What shall be has been. It already is finished. The script, your script, scripture is already written. So everything in front of you, that bridge is a bridge, represents Jesus as the bridge. This sign, S-I-G-N, is the sign of the cross. Look it up in the etymology. S-I-G-N is sign. These yellow caution lights, they got you covered. Yellow's the cross. This black and white street is the checkered board. What is the black and white? What happened at the cross? The dark and the light. He went down and he rose again. And so Jesus became sin for you. The checkered board is the black and white checkered board. Why do you think the referees have black and white? Because they're keeping you in line. You can't leave the cross. Nothing can nothing can exist outside the cross. The devil, D-E is down. V is the cutting. I-L is down. So the devil's going down on both sides of the cross. Cut goes back to cross. And so the devil is spiraling downward. The saint used to be an ain't, but the letter S is integrating. So an ain't becomes a saint. That telephone pole means tree, true, faithful, faith. The pole is upright. Right is righteousness. So upright, you're not horizontal anymore because you got saved, so you're moving to an upright position. The horizontal plane is the horror plane, the flesh mind. The upright plane, up pointing to heaven, is the upright position. Upright, righteous, right, up. PU is pick up. UP is up. See how it all fits? Pick you up. God is picking you up by the righteousness of Christ so that you are up. It's all connected, people. The reason that car has 4 wheels instead of 5 is because 5 is superabundance. 5 is the letter E. You don't need a 5th wheel down here. You can only get the 5th wheel from the Spirit. I said that wrong. You can't get the 5th wheel from down here. You can only get the 5th wheel from the Spirit. You need the letter E because the E is Spirit. Elephant, elevator, ethereal. Everything with the E, email. Everything with the E is fast and it's up and it's exponential. E is E to the X, exponential. So I hope that she doesn't get pulled into the esoteric witch side. There is an esoteric side, but it all points to Jesus. That's why it's the letter E in front of esoteric. It's outside the common man. Electrical, electric, elect. E is, the electricity's fast. That's why it's called electricity, E. Because the elect. The electricity points to the elect saints. For real, people. This is not a game. I'm not making this stuff up. It all fits. All the puzzle pieces fit. All the puzzle pieces fit. I think somebody's poisoning my food at this restaurant I go to. I think I'm going to get away from that for about a week. Don't be surprised if if you're a saint, they're going to try to poison you, try to kill you, try to harass you, irritate you, and everything they can do to mess you up. Oh, welcome to the real world, me.